The TKO president just made Vince McMahon look like a babyface. Seriously, he went on record saying that WWE ticket prices are only increasing because Vince McMahon was too generous with families. That's a real quote. It probably had shareholders clapping, but it did not get the same reaction from wrestling fans. Fans were already heated seeing prices creep up, and now hearing TKO brag about it feels like they're rubbing the salt in the wound. I'm even seeing hot takes claiming that WWE was better under Vince. Like I said earlier, TKO turned Vince babyface for no reason, which is absolutely crazy. Also, it's becoming very clear that TKO is hurting WWE, and it's not just me who feels this way. There's plenty of people who feel the same way. The greed has gotten to a level that is drastically impacting the quality of WWE. I've said it before with all the unnecessary sponsorships, but now we're getting to a point where TKO is flat out pushing away the hardcore base in favor of casuals with deeper pockets. It's a sad thing to see that they just prefer the casual fan who has money to throw. The soul of WWE continues to die. I honestly can't see how anyone likes this unless you're O'Harold, a fan who cares more about TKO's quarterly numbers than the love of the game. Speaking of TKO ruining good things, let's shift our focus to John Cena and his controversial farewell tour. It shouldn't be controversial, but it is because WWE managed to complicate something that should have been the easiest thing to book. They ruined it because of that awkward heel run. Some fans stand on business claiming that this retirement tour has been ruined, while others will argue saying that it's been flawless, and then you've got wrestling voices like Santi Zap dropping this hot take.
Why are people acting like the matches during his heel run were bad? The Randy Orton match at Backlash, banger. The tag team match at Money in the Bank, banger. The feud with Ron Killings was so much fun. The match against CM Punk, banger. The match at SummerSlam, banger. Like, John Cena was delivering excellent matches with the exception of his terrible, what seemed purposely terrible match at WrestleMania 41. So no, I'm not somebody that's gonna regret the heel turn. In fact, I'm glad that it happened because it allowed for matches that made sense against baby faces that would have been really hard for him to make a logical feud against, like Randy Orton and CM Punk. And of course, Cody Rhodes.
Look, I like Santi Zap, and I think he makes great content, but I have to respectfully disagree. The matches themselves were actually really good stuff, but the problem were the endings. They were overbooked, stuffed with too many interferences that sort of took away all the momentum of the match. Give me clean finishes and those matches would have been a lot better that I would go back to and watch. It's basically how Vince McMahon used to say, send them home happy. I agree with that statement, but none of these matches did that. Seeing the same chaotic run and ending every single time just killed the payoff of that match, especially the matches that went 30 or 40 minutes long. That said, flipping John Cena back to being a babyface was the right call, and everything since SummerSlam has been a blast. It just makes you wonder how legendary this whole farewell tour could have been if WWE did not drag us through that unnecessary heel detour. AJ Lee just made her epic WWE return just a couple weeks ago, and I honestly thought every wrestling fan would be over the moon, but it turns out that I was wrong. Check out this hot take. The entire AJ Lee / CM Punk versus Becky Lynch / Seth Rollins feud is ruining WWE for me. It's like watching a car crash, but it's brutally hard to watch. That is one spicy opinion, and it just goes to show you really can't please everybody. Personally, I think AJ's comeback is incredible. The feud with Becky and Seth has been fun. Could the story be better? Probably, but a car crash, that is just a bit of a stretch. What excites me the most is AJ eventually diving back into the women's division by herself. Watching her team with Punk is cool, but I'm so ready for this Punk and Rollins story to wrap up. If they drag it all the way to WrestleMania, I just might crash out. Anyways, the AJ Lee takes don't stop there. Someone else said that she was never even good. She just stood out in a weak Divas era, and I think that's totally unfair. AJ Lee was great, and I think she's about to prove a lot of doubters wrong at WrestlePalooza. Speaking of WrestlePalooza, what do you guys think of that name? At first, I hated it. I was even rooting for Bad Blood to return this year, but it has grown on me. Plus, it's a cool callback to an old ECW pay-per-view. However, CM Punk is not a fan. Here's his hot take on that name.
I've been doing my best to not say the word WrestlePalooza the entire time. That might actually be the first time I've said it.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
It's a ridiculous name.
It is, but I kind of like it.
Yeah.
Because you add a Palooza to anything, you're like, that sounds like a good.
Well, Lollapalooza.
Yeah, right.
And you add wrestle to it, and you kind of understand what you're getting.
I've got to disagree with Punker here. WrestlePalooza works, and honestly, imagine him in the era of the Great Balls of Fire. I would pay just to hear his thoughts on that pay-per-view name. But Punk did drop another hot take that I completely agree with.
Logan Paul?
No. Not even top 100. Very good, very skilled. Picked it up very, very fast. But
He's got a lot of work.
You're talking.
Yeah.
You're talking to a wrestling history buff.
Of course.
So
of course.
Yeah, I'm gonna. You know, and if he wants to get offended at that, that's fine.
Great. New feud.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Logan Paul definitely is not a top 100 wrestler of all time. He's not even close. If you say that about the current roster, I'd absolutely say he's near the top. But of all time, absolutely not. He does have the athleticism and plenty of years ahead to earn it, but right now he's nowhere near that list. With that said, I could see WWE planting the seeds for a future Punk and Logan Paul feud. Let Logan attack Punk over that comment, have a banger of a match, and maybe, just maybe, that's the kind of performance that gets him closer to even sniffing that top 100 conversation. Let's move on to someone who absolutely belongs in any top 100 list, and that man is Randy Orton. Right now, he's sitting at 14 world championships, so the question is obvious. Can he catch John Cena's record of 17? One fan's hot take says yes, and even predicts that Randy could hit number 18 before he's done. I'd love to see it. I think Orton is one of the greatest of all time, and he's already locked in with the WWE for another 5 years, but we do have one issue. Triple H might be the roadblock. Since Randy's return in 2023, the booking has been lackluster for the Viper. It almost feels like Hunter either just doesn't care for him or is quietly phasing him out. He never really wins big time matches, he doesn't win gold, and he's become a guy who's just used to elevate other people to the main event scene, and I am getting tired of it. Randy Orton has to become a world champion again, and it needs to happen soon. Some fans even think he should be the one to dethrone Cody Rhodes, and I'd be all for that. I think Cody versus Randy for the WWE title is a dream match we've all been waiting for. A heel Randy will bring out the absolute best in Cody, and with their history, the story writes itself. Randy would also win his 15th world title in that feud, so you can sign me up. The only thing keeping me away from fully agreeing with that hot take is another hot take that says that Drew must win the WWE belt or his main event status is finished. And is that a bit dramatic? Yes, but there is some truth to it. Drew is in the same boat as Randy. He talks a big game, but then he just loses every match that matters. So while I want Randy back on top, I think Drew getting the championship sooner might actually be the bigger priority for WWE right now. As you can see, Triple H's booking has been on the decline. We're seeing hot takes even say that he can't create stars like Vince McMahon, but I've gotta disagree with that. There's no shortage of new names proving otherwise. Look at Cody Rhodes. Hunter booked him straight into megastar territory. Then you've got Gunther, who has become one of the best wrestlers on the planet right now. And Jey Uso shocked everybody by capturing the world title. Some fans are over the babyface vibe and do want a heel run. Honestly, I'd love that too, because a serious Jey Uso is much better than Mr. Yeet Man. But you can't deny star power under Triple H's leadership. You've also got Braun Breaker, who grows more undeniable each week. He's a future world champ and a future WrestleMania main eventer. It is obvious. There are some takes saying that he doesn't need the vision. I agreed with this earlier on, but since Rollins stepped back and Becky also joined the group, it added a spark and the faction feels fresh again. Hunter also has nailed it with El Grande Americano. Ludwig Kaiser is on fire, and he's a legit star, especially in Mexico. Some people do hate the gimmick, but I am all in. And of course, we've got Dominic Mysterio. Dirty Dom's gone from a heat magnet to double champ, and I'd bet on multiple world titles in his future. Some fans don't want to see him with any titles in the future, but I can't co-sign on that. The guy's truly special. With that said, there are wrestlers Triple H aren't booking well. Like I said, you got Randy Orton, Drew McIntyre, even LA Knight. They all come to mind, but the worst booked wrestler might be Finn Balor, considering that he was one of Hunter's favorites a decade ago in NXT. I am fully behind the hot take that Finn needs to get out of the Judgment Day, turn him babyface, cue the old music, and let him cook. We've already seen how much better he looks when he's free like he was on NXT recently. And for our final, very important debate, this hot take says that John Cena's jorts are better than Brock's jeans, and all I can say is yes. Anyways, that is it for the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope y'all enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe for more, and I'll see you all in the next video.